muted.
Just wanted to see how long he would go. I just wanted to see how long he would go. Hi, everybody.
Greetings, gamers.
Greetings.
Fishpaste.
Greetings, Natoid. Greetings, Fern folk.
Greetings, VGG.
Hello.
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 Yeah, today's gonna be fun. Today's gonna be. It's like I keep saying it's gonna be low key, but it's still exciting. It's still cool. But it's not like the bombastic reveals, right? It's exciting, like fundamentally cool things about where the industry is headed. You know.
The future.
The future. It's funny that I say that. So I've been saying that's kind of like been my pitch for today. But then tomorrow has the future game show and the future of play.
Yeah.
But it's true because today what we're watching is the Accessibility Summer Showcase to start. An initiative started by Laura Kate Dale, a journalist extraordinaire that has been all over, really at this point, like kind of one of those multi-hyphenate title people, you know. She started the Accessibility video series in 2020, and this is the first big like showcase. Just highlighting a bunch of really cool accessibility initiatives across the industry. I haven't looked at anything, you know. I've gotten a few emails here and there, and I've gotten little hints as to what was shown, and it's gonna be a fun show. It's just like it's a really exciting time where accessibility is being put at the forefront more and more, you know. I always have respected the efforts of Sony first parties of late. They've really put a lot of effort into making those games, like the newest Ratchet, the newest Last of Us, you know. They really
God of War.
Yeah,
that
God
was
of War.
Wild.
Yes, yeah. Like truly like accessibility features that I didn't even know were a thing, you know. And so that's you know, one of the major reasons we wanted to watch this is it's like you don't realize the kinds of stuff that people need, people want in games. And so like the more we spread the word and spread the education, you'll find out there's things that, you know, you're like, oh shit, that would make my life so much easier because of whatever, you know, disability, whatever, you know, thing you got going on. You know, there are devs out there trying to make, you know, life easier for us. You know, I have friends that use clay on their controllers to make buttons easier to push and stuff. You know, like the industry is shifting in a great way, and stuff like this is exciting to see. And then after that, we will do the Tribeca Games Spotlight. I don't know what they call it, you know, which is really cool. Tribeca, of course, known for like doing their film festival stuff that they got going on, but this is their game initiative that they've had for what, 2 years now? 2021 was the first one.
I think so.
I guess this is the third year.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's always just a really cool showcase because it's not only we know the games. It's like 6 or 7 games. We know which ones they are, but what they do in the festival series is, you know, have a talk with the developers present. They have captions aren't on. They have a talk with the there we go. They you know, show some of the development. They show some extra details about their, you know, inspiration and what their purpose, you know, like all it's a more include like all around talk, sit down, chat with the team, you know, a deeper dive into some of the more exciting games. And Tribeca, of course, you know, they have a certain reputation of, you know, artsy stuff, and so there's some really interesting games on display this year. How are we feeling, gamers? We're at day 3 again. This is we won't. When we were looking ahead at the schedule, we realized we probably wouldn't really be able to stream these live, right? So we decided, you know what? Let's move it to the nighttime. Give some love to our night crew, like Rinks, who's able to show up for this one, who hasn't been able to for the last few.
Ring struggled through that one, showing up
Yeah.
like way late
several
at night,
times, like
slept a few
waking up, like
hours, woke up.
hello. But yeah, we were, decided to kind of kick back and have fun with this one, vibe out. It's like I said, the reason I say it's low key is that it's not like I'm not going to be disappointed by what I see here. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to feel good. It's not like I'm anticipating some major reveal, like it's just like we get to just sit and watch developers be passionate and excited about what they're doing.
And that's the best part.
And they're doing cool things, So, yeah. How's everybody feeling?
Same as you, gamer. Just excited. Like, we're going to see some more things about games that we already know about with both shows, but also with Tribeca. Even, we've had our hands on Stray Gods, but there's still a lot to learn about it. There are a few games in there that I am just hearing about, and it is going to have some new information. So.
Yeah, they're going to have the weirdest one for me, because especially, again, I think it's partially the connection to the it being a Hollywood production. They have the Telltale Expanse game at the Tribeca. That's just like, but it's just like, okay, cool. Like I'm on board. I love Expanse. Yeah, Fish, vibing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. While you guys were talking earlier, I was just looking up. Speaking of accessibility, like I used to watch build videos of this guy named Ben Heck from Element 14 on YouTube, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, back when these things weren't,
Talked about
accessible,
yeah,
to people who needed it. And he would like spend his time, free time, and do it for free for people who needed it. Build accessible controllers for like the 360 and the PS3 and PS4 and all that, and just did it for free because people needed it, and then there was no avenue for someone to get an accessibility controller for consoles. And it just also makes me think of, we've seen people who play games that are like completely blind, and they do it just from audio cues. Like there's certain audio cues that they get from playing games. It's it's exciting to see, because it's not it's something when most of us say a large majority of the people that play video games don't really think about. Like people also want to enjoy this medium that we all have been enjoying for decades at this point. And a large chunk of people didn't get to enjoy them for a very long time, and now they can, just because it's become come to the forefront of developers and just the people's eyes that everyone deserves to play video games, because video games are good. So so yeah, and then Tribeca every year they bring some cool stuff, some cool behind the scenes stuff, and it's just great to see people who are passionate about something they're working on, and just being able to see the man behind the curtain,
the process, how the sausage is made.
I don't not that one, but yeah, I don't want to know how the sausage is made, but
sausage. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Let's get in here. Hide a little woke. New name.
Yeah, new name,
new vibe. First time
big
chat.
money.
But yeah, I'm excited. How's chat doing? Yeah, no, yeah. It's really cool to see the efforts being made, because now officially PlayStation and Xbox have full on accessibility controllers that they are they've worked with accessibility advocates and coordinators across the industry to put out, and Microsoft's had theirs for a bit, and PlayStation finally got on it as well. So you could see the push is happening. It's becoming a oh no Gamba Twitch. But yeah, it's a exciting time. Yeah, so let's get into this. We'll do, because this time we're not live. We can't just let the live guide us. So we'll do a countdown here for me, or for us and Fish. Let me switch over. Oh, actually, I do have to quickly do something here. Not that one. Not that one.
Well, look at all that.
Chat, you're looking at yourself in a mirror.
Inside baseball right there.
That's how the sausage gets made.
See our 205 follower count that you can see right under the screen.
Whoa.
Alrighty, gamers. Yeah, let's get wacky. Let's get into it. Is the chat showing up? I just wait. Normally the chat should be there, like for new messages. Oh, okay.
I think it's just.
Oh, did I just switched the screen?
Yeah, you just switched.
Yeah.
So no one's said anything yet.
Alrighty. Well, let's get into it. Accessibility Summer Showcase 2023. Let's see what's new in the world of accessibility. Ready, Oscar? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
With my chip tunes.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever Accessibility Summer Showcase, sponsored by I Need Diverse Games. I'm your host, Laura. I'm a white woman with bright blue hair, shaved on one side, wearing a plain black dress, standing in front of a blue, lightly animated backdrop. I am a disabled gamer, with a number of disabilities that impact things like my memory, sensory processing, coordination, focus, and hearing. And as such, I wanted to create a space during the week of E3/Summer Games Fest / whatever we're calling the deluge of summer game announcement live streams this year, where disabled gamers could be confident that if a game trailer seemed interesting to them, they would know upfront if the game was likely to be playable by them or not when it releases. Basically, I want this to be a space where disabled gamers can get in on the excitement of finding out about new and upcoming video games, with less risk of finding out later that a cool-looking game that you've seen today isn't going to be something that you can play when it actually releases. Alongside trailers for recently released and upcoming video games, you'll also be hearing stories from disabled gamers about what accessibility means to them, and from disabled game developers about how they approached creating the kinds of accessible designs that they personally need when gaming. Not every video game shown here today is going to be playable by every disabled gamer. Disability is often a spectrum of overlapping distinct needs, and it's very difficult to make one game that is accessible to everyone. But my hope is that, by the end of this roughly 40-minute long showcase, you'll see at least one game that looks cool and meets your specific accessibility needs.
Let's go.
So, without any further introduction, let's jump into the first batch of game trailers.
That was a great... The audio description opening was so good.
Mythwrecked.
Mythwrecked Ambrosia Island is developed by Polygon Treehouse and published by Whitethorn Games. In Mythwrecked, you play as Alex, who has been shipwrecked on an island inhabited by the Greek gods. You'll need to befriend them and help get their memories back to uncover the mystery of Ambrosia Island. Making friends is integral to the gameplay of Mythwrecked. You'll get to know the gods by talking to and learning about them. Naturally, many features in Mythwrecked help make reading the dialogue accessible. The text is in a readable sans serif typeface by default. Text bubbles are available in light or dark modes, so pick whichever you prefer. The gods make great conversationalists, and players can choose to press a button to confirm reading, or allow the dialogue to autoplay at a fast, medium, or slow pace. The dialogue can be customized even further by having the text scroll, or by having it show up all at once.
That's nice.
Track objectives around the island using a wonderful gadget called the Ambrosia Dex that boasts a high-contrast journal and inventory system. The Ambrosia Dex also has a radar function that uses sound effects, visuals, and haptics to let you know when you're close to finding a hidden treasure. Ambrosia Island is alive with discoveries, sights and sounds, and adorable little creatures. You'll explore the island using a stable, dynamic tracking camera, and can enhance your experience by toggling haptics or button press sprint. You can even customize your entire playthrough with full button remapping. And you won't need sound to enjoy the ambiance of Ambrosia Island. Mythwrecked includes captions for ambient and environment sound effects, so you can feel immersed in the vibrant surroundings with or without sound. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to see you on the sun-kissed beaches.
Wish we had those, just like those text option things, standard.
Yeah, all like that's the thing. So many times you're like,
welcome to Sky Tales, a wonderful world full of gentle puzzles to solve.
Does the lizard just vomit?
Play as Sky, the friendly dragon, and help out your friends and neighbors. Or or help the coasting crew set sail and discover long-lost treasure at the bottom of the sea. Take a break between puzzles and make music with magical instruments. Fill the air with melodies and put on a magical concert of your very own. And there's no need to rush. Play at your own pace. Explore the valleys of Avishire,
I'm always
Rainer
going around
Falls,
just making noises like
Coaston, and Westbridge in your own time.
I'm like the algorithm
Accessibility is
sorting
at the
noises
heart of
thing.
Sky Tales.
Oh, it's very cool.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Especially for something so based in color, right?
With
I like
features
it.
that
God of War
shape the
had
game to meet
very
your
much
needs.
things very similar to this.
Express yourself
I really
by
like the
collecting fabulous
specific sound
outfits
effects.
from all corners
Volume
of the world.
meters, you know. At first I was like, okay, volume, but you know,
Your playful world awaits.
it's cute,
Right?
cute, cozy.
Hi, I'm Radaz. I'm a disabled content
Hi.
creator and a
Danny
Twitch
DeVito as
ambassador, a
Shrek.
white
Yeah.
woman with brown hair, wearing a grey t-shirt with white outside seams. I live with multiple chronic illnesses, Sjogren, CFS, fibro, to name a few, which leave me with both mobility and cognitive accessibility related needs. I really appreciate games that give me the ability to remove button mashing, or set longer windows on reaction time events, and really any kind of decent quest log or map, just so I don't get too lost in the world.
That's a lot of
This next game not only has
things that
accessibility features that are beneficial for
the
me, but it also just
big
looks
game
awesome.
for accessibility
The vibrant
discussion
pixel
Elden
art,
Ring does
the
not
tune
have.
soundtrack, and varied boss fights are a perfect accompaniment to a really
It's
cool
like
lesbian
holding
love
up
story.
the
This is boss
worst
game.
paper
The
in
final
the
boss
class.
is my heart.
Here's
Hey
what
there.
not to do.
My name is Lily Valine, and I'm the lead developer of Boss Game. The final boss is my heart. Boss Game is a lesbian romance boss rush. You play as Sophie and Anna, two broke girlfriends who hunt
Hell
devils
yeah.
to their end.
Bro,
The game
girlfriend.
features lightning-fast, rhythmic boss battles in a unique two-hero battle system. Sophie and Anna fight simultaneously in order to build combos, keep each other alive, and unleash super attacks.
I like that little character portrait.
In between boss fights, you'll flirt with your girlfriend, fight
We get to
her
flirt?
employer, and
Yes,
uncover the
that's
dark
the best
secrets of
flirt.
Yaman City, all while texting friends and enemies.
You've been chosen off
Boss
the
Game
mega
is all
devils.
about using the power of love to defeat huge, ridiculous bosses. Because of the
My
focus
friends
on
are my
hectic
power, bro.
battles, I knew right away
My
that I wanted to
girlfriends are my
include a
power.
wide variety of gameplay options. Boss Game includes
Oh.
several different ways
Yes.
to adjust the experience and challenge,
That's the-
including granular settings
Like stuff
for
like
things
this
like
is
gameplay
what
speed and
From
bonus
Software
hero
can do
damage.
without
These settings can be changed in
harming
large
the
or small
integrity of the
increments.
experience, you know?
Enabling the
Yeah,
automatic
I mean,
block
every
option
RPG could
will
benefit from
cause
this.
Sophie and Anna to activate their shields automatically upon taking damage, which reduces the need for quick reactions. The invincibility option makes it impossible to lose a battle, which allows players to avoid reaching a dead end. I've added a variety of different options so that people can experiment and find what works best for them. I found that players are very
The thing is,
capable
it's
of using
not
these settings
hard
to
to
create
add
an
these things.
engaging
It's
level
literally
of
this is what
gameplay
it's like
that suits
in
their ability
like the
and how
actual
they like to
programming of the
play.
game, where you just change a couple numbers and boom, that's it.
Boss Game, The Final Boss is My Heart, is out now on Android and iOS,
Nice.
Is
and will be
it?
released this
Hogged
July
up.
on Steam and itch.io.
Grab my phone real quick.
Thank you so
No
much for
reason.
joining me. Please have a lovely day and enjoy the rest of the showcase.
Please, you have a lovely
Hello,
day.
my name is
Thank
Luis
you.
Alonso, and I'm the game
What the
developer
hell
for
is that?
Spaceboat.
Baseball.
I'm here today
I've
to
heard
talk
about
to you
this.
about how I tackled the task of accessibility. What most people don't know about me is that I'm actually physically disabled myself, so I take accessibility very seriously. Despite being a triple amputee, I can't claim to be an expert in all forms of accessibility, but I can break down how I approach making Spaceboat as accessible as possible. As a result, I made sure that the game could be played comfortably with a controller and without the need for multiple button combinations for successful game progression. As someone who has beaten every Soulsborne game in existence,
Let's
I cannot
go.
play games like Metroid Dread.
Let's
I
go.
can tell you this is paramount for people with physical disabilities. When people with cerebral palsy reached out to let us know they enjoyed playing the game, I knew that at least on that front, I'd been successful. Now let's consider people with hearing disabilities. Since Spaceboat is a narrative-heavy game, it was important to make it possible to read every voice line that was spoken. As a result, I added subtitles when full dialogue text boxes were not shown. For the visually impaired, I ran the game with multiple simulated color blindness types, and realized that the bright, colorful, and high contrast art direction worked rather effectively. In the case of the most common types of color blindness, like deuteranopia, it actually turned into an advantage since key markers would pop out. Recently, we added more text for those with extreme uncommon types of color blindness, or game mechanics that rely too much on colors. If you're watching this and think we could improve Spaceboat's accessibility, please contact us at contact@recombobulator.ca. Thank you.
Please.
Hey, I'm Carrie. I'm the senior designer of accessibility at Rebellion, and I'm here to chat a bit
This
about
is one of the ones I
Sniper
heard
Elite
about.
5. Sniper Elite 5 launched last year, and it is the most accessible Sniper Elite and Rebellion game to date. One of our core pillars of the game is being able to play your own way, as we believe that anyone can be an elite. I joined at the end of the project, and there were already a great range of accessibility options and considerations that had gone into the game. Things like clear subtitles with speaker names, aim assists, and highly customizable difficulty. Since release, we were able to implement lots of meaningful accessibility options in updates like aim toggle, automatic forward movement, auto traversal options, and colorblind palettes. Through our Discord channel, we've been able to get a lot of feedback that's really helped us to address the barriers that our players were facing, and we have a range of ways to get in touch if you have any feedback for future titles. That's what we absolutely love, because there should be nothing about us without us. You can read all about the full suite of options available on our new accessibility page found at rebellion.com/accessibility/sniper-elite-5. There's also a link to give your own feedback or join our Discord.
See, it's one thing
to support the Accessibility Summer Showcase, and as part of that, we've donated some Sniper Elite 5 keys for a giveaway. So email laurakbuzzofficial@gmail.com before midnight BST on Friday the 16th of June to enter a random draw for a game key. Give your email the subject line Sniper Elite Giveaway, and please name your platform of choice. Good luck, Cypress.
Talk about, they were saying the importance of knowing you can play a game. Now you can actually try to go and play the game.
Gave our team a really unique opportunity to work with accessibility $30 to $70 today. Using the game accessibility guidelines and testing with Able Gamers player panels, we developed a Night in the Attic with some great features in mind. Some features
honestly needs to be accessible.
Load on our players are tutorials with button glyphs and controller movements, a book of tool actions which unlock as you progress and which you can access anytime, player-controlled dialogue progression that lets you know where in space the dialogue is taking place, and levels that are about 5 to 15 minutes long to enable frequent
I'm not sure.
breaks.
I'll look real quick.
To help with visual accessibility, we've used captions for illustrated manuscripts and text-only dialogue, a high-contrast and easy-to-read font, UI elements that you can grab and move around to enhance readability, and no information is conveyed through color alone. The audio in A Night in the Attic features independently controlled levels for music and sound effects, plus you can toggle monaural or binaural sound and haptic feedback for actions. Finally, physical accessibility has been a really interesting challenge in VR. A Night in the Attic features comfort considerations like fully seated gameplay, keeping actions within an arm's length, and minimal requirement to bend or twist. There are 3 ways to control Guinevere: one-handed tilt, two-handed tilt, or with either analog stick. By incorporating best practices and playtesting feedback where possible, we've worked hard to make sure A Night in the Attic is a comfortable and enjoyable experience for our players.
Yeah, I've heard about that game.
I'm the developer of Upheaval, a text-based, open-world fantasy adventure game. In just 30 in-game days, the enigmatic magician will arrive. You have until then to track down magical treasures and aid or interfere with people and factions that surround your small village. Upheaval is turn-based, so you can always take as much time as you want to plan your next move. And if the in-game time limit of 30 days is too short, turn on relaxed mode and take as many in-game days as you want to explore everything the game has to offer. You can play Upheaval completely using just your keyboard or using just your mouse or touchscreen. For blind players, the console version of Upheaval supports screen readers like NVDA and includes full text descriptions of the graphical version's important visual elements. You can play Upheaval in windowed or full screen mode, in dark mode or in light mode, and with or without background graphics.
Oh, that's so cool.
You can adjust volume for music, ambiance, and sound effects separately to get the sound experience you want. You can play Upheaval's free demo and early access alpha right now on itch.io, or Wishlist Upheaval on Steam to get an email when the full version is released. If you have any questions about accessibility or any issues accessing Upheaval, join the Discord to chat
honestly
with me
like
at upheavalgame.com.
I like that I'm hearing that a lot of times, right? That's such a key thing. Like, please tell me.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Revia, and I'm a disabled and chronically ill content creator from Norway. I'm a 30-year-old woman sitting in my really cozy gaming room. I have red hair, I have black heavy eyeliner, and I have a lavender knitted sweater. I have been ill my whole life, and due to this, accessibility is something that is really dear to my heart. I'm born with something called cerebral palsy, and later in life I've gotten a bunch more of diagnostic, some of them like PTSD and rheumatoid arthritis. All of these problems affect my everyday life, mostly in the form of like brain fog, forgetfulness, spasms, tremors, a lot of pain, and a bunch of fatigue. I am lucky enough though to have medication that keeps my immune system at bay, but if I have a bad day, I am dependent on accessibility to be able to play my favorite games. That can be things like puzzle guides, difficulty modes, the ability to pause the game whenever, or the ability to switch between a controller or a keyboard, or just good tutorials in game.
Something I'm dealing with
and this is why I am honored to introduce this next game that not only thought about my need for being able to switch between different controllers, but also make sure that a player never loses a level and is always able to progress in the story. This is Princess Farmer by Whitethorn Games and Samoy B Games.
Yeah, Whitethorn had an accessibility showcase in one of their showcases.
Lots of queer and diverse representation, created with accessibility in mind.
Yeah.
Charlene, the game designer, artist, and story creator of the game, injured her hands a few years ago. One of the things that helped keep her spirits up while she healed was playing Switch games with one hand. She decided that she wanted to make a game that was easy to pick up and play with just one hand.
Love a puzzle farmer.
One of Princess Farmer's main accessibility features is its gameplay styles. Sometimes folks just want to chill and not have to think about what they're doing.
Yes.
Action Bunny mode allows players to do just that. And if a player wants a challenge, planning out their moves carefully to make or avoid
I love that same rewards,
matches,
same story, but it's
Bunny.
just different ways.
For those players who just can't make up their mind, Balance Bunny combines the two. The game will never punish you. The worst that can happen is that Gaia will be slightly less thrilled when you finish a level, and reward you with fewer heart coins. But you'll still advance and have many more chances to make Mother Gaia bounce with glee. There are about a zillion ways to control Princess Farmer. Multiple buttons work on gamepads, the arrow or WASD keys on the keyboard, and on mobile you can either tap or swipe the screen. There are so many settings to make your time in Gaia's Valley as suited to your needs as possible, including haptic control, separate audio channels, high contrast for visibility, visual cues that don't rely on just color, font control, no screen shake, and optional match flashing. Most of all, we really just want players to enjoy the warm hug that is Princess Farmer. The story is lighthearted and filled with mystery, cheeky flirting, and supportive friends who know you're doing your best. You'll always find a cheerful welcome in Gaia's Valley.
Botany Manor is a first-person puzzle game developed by Balloon Studios and published by Whitethorn Games.
This must be, I
you
wonder
play as Arabella Green, a retired botanist living in a beautiful, picturesque manor. While exploring the manor, you'll discover clues and research that will help you unlock the mysteries of forgotten flora. Admire the manor through Arabella's eyes, with field of view, motion sensitivity, and camera smoothing sliders. Invertible camera controls help ensure you have a familiar experience. Inspect postcards, books, posters, and more around the manor for information about your plants. When deciphering these clues, text overlays can assist with the details that may be hard to see in your playing environment.
Every single video game.
The overlay is a high contrast
I hate when I'm like, pick up something and I'm like, I can't even read that.
You don't need to rush your time in Botany Manor. There are no time limits to solve puzzles, so feel free to explore the halls and gardens during your stay. If you do, however, feel the rush of being on the brink of a discovery, you can toggle sprint with a single button press.
I like that.
Oh shit, has an optional single stick mode that allows you to play using a single analog stick for movement. You'll have a toggle or hold option for a look-around view that you can use to stand still while you use the analog stick to observe your surroundings instead of move. Here, we're using single-stick mode and have the camera customization set to increase your field of view and camera smoothness.
Beautiful.
Take your time researching, relaxing, and uncovering the mysteries of long-lost flora in Botany
If they have
Manor.
modes that are built like in that way, it's even easier, you know, to...
Hi everyone, Laura here again.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here and watching the very first Accessibility Summer Showcase. I would like to take a quick moment at this point in the showcase to thank I Need Diverse Games, whose sponsorship of the showcase's debut year has made it possible to commission art assets for the event, as well as creating American Sign Language, British Sign Language, and audio-described versions of the presentation.
There were like 4 different versions
still
of the
to
show.
showcase today. But I want to take some time to say a quick thank you as well to all of the developers who brought games along to the showcase today. This is the event's first year, and I appreciate every game developer who took the time to take a chance and be involved in a debut event like this. The hope is that we can make the Accessibility Summer Showcase an annual event going forward, growing the scope and scale of the event over time. Thank you so much for being here from the start, supporting what we're trying to
Laura
build.
Kate Dale walk out into the YouTube theater like Healy, like, welcome to the Accessibility Summer Showcase!
2023's most impressive examples of accessibility improvements that were added in a post-launch update.
This day started like any other.
Brock the Investigator.
A true nightmare.
Have you ever murdered someone? What? Answer the question!
Hello, I'm Fabrice from Cocat, a French solo game developer. For 6 years I've been making Brock the Investigator, which combines a narrative adventure game with beat-em-up action. Brock offers a wide range of accessibility features, in particular for blind gamers. The full game is voiced, including hotspots, menus, specific tutorials and audio descriptions were added. Before this project, I had no idea there was no big adventure game like this playable for visually impaired gamers, so I'm pleased more players are now able to enjoy it. This was really fun to implement too. Brock is available now on PC and consoles, and you can try out the demo on all platforms.
Yeah, I've had my eye on Brock.
My name is Tomasz Tworek, also known as Lirin. I was working on Brock the Investigator as an accessibility consultant. This is my first project on such a large scale, and I can tell you this was a really beautiful adventure. Mostly I was working on text-to-speech and how to improve combat and puzzles for the blind people, while Cowcat did the magic based on my feedback and my work. And I hope you've enjoyed Brock the Investigator, and if not, go and grab it. This is really fantastic game with excellent voice acting, story, and music. And I hope you like the accessibility features we've implemented.
That one seems really
Hello,
cool.
I'm Onion Blaze, and I'm currently working on a game called Humig.
What is this?
It's a short everyday life adventure of 2 school kids in a peaceful town, making friends with a bunch of lively people and creating unforgettable memories. The game's story is split into small bite-sized episodes where you can explore, learn more about the characters, and find collectibles.
I was gonna say, I was like, hold on.
You can just sit around and relax with cats and dogs. Based on how you spend your days, the main characters' personalities will slowly develop, changing how they interact with the world. Moving your character in the game can be done either manually, via keyboard or controller, or by clicking on interactable icons with a mouse.
I like that. Matter of
so far, the game allows clipboard-based text-to-speech for most of its systems, with proper support for it planned before release. There's also audio subtitles, audio descriptions, and separate audio volumes for background music, ambient sounds, and sound effects.
You mean it's like music?
Speed or difficulty options for dialogues, in-game time, or mini-games are also present, alongside various screen and graphic settings like window type, brightness, shadow and particle quality, camera motion, and many more.
I could feel my
There's still a lot of things
voice
to
in
work
my head.
on
Is
before
that
the game is
Filipino,
finished, but some
Filipino,
common features are general UI size and color settings, a simple map, event guides and recaps, full controller mapping, and more limited control options, like being able to play with just one button or by making any sound with a microphone.
Play by
is
making
currently
sound with your
planned for
microphone.
Windows, Mac, and Linux, both on itch and Steam.
You were saying?
I'm designing the game
There's like
to
a
be as
recap.
accessible
You're
as
coming
I
back to a
can with
game.
my
Yeah.
current
It's like,
resources.
this is what you did last.
So if you're
Too.
interested and would like to see more of it,
Because we
please
play
share
so
it
many
to your
games that
friends,
I go back to them like,
wish list it on
what
Steam,
was I doing?
or become a member on Coffee.
This looks
where I
great.
share frequent
I have
updates
not seen
about
this at
gaming
all,
and
and
other
I'm
things.
episodic. The way they
Thank you,
said that too
stay
is really
safe,
interesting.
and have a good day.
That looks great.
Agree.
Hi, I'm Vivek Gohill.
What's up,
An
Vivek?
accessibility consultant and journalist. Gaming is an integral part of my DNA. It's a vital coping mechanism for living with the challenges of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Gaming gives me the freedom to meet aliens, become a superhero, or explore environments that I would never be able to experience. Ultimately, gaming brings me joy.
Oh yeah.
Same.
Accessibility options unlock my potential, showcasing my abilities instead of highlighting my limitations.
I love that. I love the way you
By
put that.
removing any unnecessary barriers. Recently, Star Wars
Yeah, I
Jedi
heard that.
Survivor had good accessibility design. It included full button remapping, a core accessibility feature I require so that controls are positioned comfortably to deal with my limited reach and dexterity. The option to slow down game speed allows me enough time to complete intense traversal gameplay. I have the skills to complete the task, but I have slower reaction times. Accessibility manages this difference and reduces frustration. On a higher level, accessibility is an integral aspect of game design, without which game developers are alienating a key user base. Game developers should collaborate with accessibility consultants, as lived experiences are vital to provide and progress innovation. As the accessibility saying goes, don't do anything about us without us.
That was a great.
Can you retain your humanity while fighting against the corporate's biotech
There was like a
conspiracy?
specific thing now I'm forgetting. I didn't
This
like
is
want to
Solid
like
State,
talk
a
over.
3D, choice-driven cyberpunk and hope punk visual novel. Play as the young hacker Chloe, who confronts political plots as she fights for her friends and her city. Your choices in building up
We all fight
relationships
for our
and
friends.
communities can revolutionize into more or less freedoms and human rights. In a game of 31 fully illustrated characters, you can romance Torrent, a local who shares Chloe's rare intuitive hacking abilities.
Romance.
Swaley, a community leader who grapples with expectations and different
Swaley.
levels of governance. And Alden, an old flame who was Chloe's first love in university. Chloe's hacking allows her to take on another person's identity and read their encrypted data. With such abilities, what does it mean to speak your truth responsibly? In a world where humanity's rights are up on the chopping board of corporate greed,
They're watching
will
me
Chloe's
at this
actions
point,
incite violent backlash or bloom into hope? All accessibility features can be toggled at any time. We have a toggle for Open Dyslexic Font for all of our text to make our game more readable. There is a full history log of previously read text for each scene. Text speed can be adjusted. There is a selection of highlight colors to show which character is speaking, which aids with visual legibility and color blindness. There is no time limits on making choices in-game, and there are no flashing lights. Coming to Steam and Xbox in 2023. Your choices mobilized.
Coming to my wish list later today.
Hi everybody, Steve Spawn here. My friend Laura Cade asked me to stop by and tell a brief story about why accessibility matters to me. Well, there's obviously a lot of stories and they take a lot of time, so I'm going to try to tell you the shortest story that I know that made a difference in my life. A long time ago, young Steve really enjoyed hanging out with his friends. He was a very not social kid. Young Steve had no idea how to talk to people or how to make friends, or was scared of being made fun of in so many ways. But the one thing I was not scared of was playing video games. Well, I enjoyed playing games, but I always did them alone. And my friends were kind of going in the opposite direction. In high school, they stopped wanting to go play games and wanted to go to the world. And they wanted to go out and enjoy hotel parties away from the adults. They wanted to go to the clubs for under 18s, and they wanted to have fun in the real world. But the problem was, outside of the club was my mortal enemy, the single stare. Really annoying thing I could not get over because apparently ramps weren't built back in 1992. Anyway, thing is,
I've only heard of clubs for under 21s, like 18 to 21.
Knew that I was struggling with this, and because of that, invited me over to his place. And despite the fact that he also had the same invites to go to these parties and whatnot, would bring me over to his house, which was also inaccessible with another staircases, hate him. And would bring out his Nintendo to his garage, and we would sit out in his garage and we would play video games together. And that was our connection point, was that he took the time and understanding to realize that I was being left out of our friendship circle that I had always been included in, not purposely, but because people didn't realize that wheelchairs couldn't go where they wanted me to be able to go. And he found a way around that by introducing me to video games, by keeping me in video games as a social aspect. And so, in his garage, we would sit and play Mortal Kombat fighting games, and we would laugh at each other, getting pwned and whatever else you got back in the 1990s. And we stayed connected through all those years because video games allowed us to stay despite a hard time. And I think everyone should have opportunities where maybe life is boxing you out a little bit, and your disabilities are getting in the way of things that you'd otherwise really enjoy. Well, in the world of video games, it shouldn't be like that. We can put accessibility in games, and having the ability to play games, no matter where you are, is a super important part of remaining accessible.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Steve's awesome. I've been following Steve for a while.
Hearts is a light-hearted and wholesome 3D narrative-driven adventure about coming to terms with grief and recapturing the freedom of exploring nature. You play as Tyke, who is revisiting a beloved childhood holiday destination, Hearts, to overcome the physical and mental mountain set before him. The team at Hyperluminal are committed to making games better, and for us, that includes striving to make our games as inclusive and accessible as we can.
Really like the
we took part in an
effect
inclusive design accelerator in 2022 that kickstarted the process of us building accessible design practices into the culture of our studio. A key concern for our focus group arose around the need to have clear signposting of what accessibility options were available and where to find them. We have chosen to address this in two ways. Firstly, by creating a dedicated accessibility onboarding flow for first-time players, where they can set a few basic accessibility options before they jump into gameplay. We also aimed to provide immediate and quick access to the full suite of options from our settings menu by housing them under a dedicated accessibility heading. Currently, we have around 10 settings planned for release, with 2 in the development phase right now. These include colour blocking, which applies block colours to key characters and interactable elements, making them easier to identify against a desaturated background palette. Simplified controls, which removes inputs that require prolonged or timed button presses with simpler single button press inputs, allowing easier access for players with joint pain or upper body dexterity limitations.
Yeah, I'm glad a lot of games are starting to include that now.
Our future plans include options for high contrast and highlight interactable modes, settings for scaling UI and fonts, and for changing font styles, as well as options for turning on contextual subtitles for animated cutscenes and full controller remapping support. Beyond Pine Hearts, we're also focused on developing an approach to sustainably delivering accessibility across all of our future games. As a small indie development studio, finding time and resources to invest in developing solutions to some of the accessibility challenges we face can be difficult. So we wanted to find a way to carry effort from project to project through our own internal settings and accessibility toolkit.
Yeah,
the Settings and Accessibility Toolkit is a plugin for the Unity engine, which our development team has built as a customizable framework for settings that can be easily ported across projects. This also gives us access to developer-facing settings, which can help us to identify and reduce accessibility barriers as we go through development. An example of this is our colour blindness filters, which allow artists and QA to turn on specific filters while testing the game, making it easier to identify issues with contrast and the readability of characters and interactables against background elements. Pine Hearts will launch in early 2024 on Steam and Switch, but you can follow our progress in the meantime via our Twitter and Steam pages.
I don't even need to know really what the game's like, right? It's like, hearing all this, yeah, I'm on board, dude. Let's go. I'm down to support you for what you're doing here.
I'm detecting group energy signatures.
Sounds like something I'm involved in. Group.
Yeah,
grouping.
Put it into the workflow, you know. Ooh. Is that an autism-friendly VR adventure?
Autistic people love playing games, but games aren't designed for autistic people. They can be too loud, they can be too bright, they can be too stressful.
Welcome to Space Station Norpopolis, where the groups have got loose after a lab accident. You have to use your Vacuumizer 5000 to help friendly robot Blink recapture them before Mr. Norp finds out. The game is full of features to help autistic people enjoy the game. There's no fail state, no stressful time limits. You can skip challenges, repeat tasks, and go at your own speed. If you get overstimulated, hit the smartwatch and come straight out of the game to a calm space where you can recover.
That's sick.
Then rejoin the game when you're ready.
That's really cool.
There's an accessibility menu to fine-tune the game to your particular sensitivities, and a multitude of other features designed into every level. Blink in the Vacuum of Space has been designed from the ground up for autistic people, to put them in control so they can enjoy the game and just be themselves.
Autistic people are proud of their autism. It isn't something that needs to be fixed. It's something that needs to be supported. That's why we've created Blink in the Vacuum of Space.
Wow, groups.
I
so
really
ominous.
love that, you know.
Blink and the Vacuum of
Especially
Space.
in VR, right? If you feel overwhelmed, just hit a thing. And
let's get to it,
Oh
shall
no!
Oh.
Double Nate.
We're nearing the end of the Accessibility Summer Showcase 2023, with the next trailer being our last one of the day, announcing a release date for a game that a lot of people in the gaming accessibility space have been looking forward to for the past few months. All that remains to be said is thank you to every game developer out there that's taking the fight for improved accessibility seriously, every disabled gamer that's speaking out about their experiences, and to everyone who tuned in today to watch the showcase. You can find out more about the games that were shown during today's showcase by checking out access-ability.uk, where we will have links to all of the day's trailers, as well as to every game that was showcased. I hope you all enjoy our final announcement, and hopefully we'll see you all again next year.
Hi everyone, I am Sightless Combat, accessibility consultant, gamer without sight, and content creator. Now if you're wondering why I use the term gamer without sight, I use it because legal blindness, often just shortened to being blind, can and often does include usable and or residual vision, which I've never had. It's basically a way of me saying, I can see absolutely nothing at all. And that brings us to a very interesting point. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much to the organisers for letting me participate in this event. It's an absolute privilege and an honour. But I'm here to introduce to you the next game in the lineup, a fantastic game that is from a genre that a lot of people would think you can't play without being able to see, namely a point-and-click game. And it is the wonderful Stories of Blossom, which has been rumoured and hinted at and demoed for a number of years in various fashions. And finally, the amazing folks at Softleaf Studios are releasing it this year, and I am so excited for this partly because I'm in the credits, but also because it's going to be a game that is fully playable without the need for sighted assistance in any capacity, which is always a fantastic thing to see when it's executed as well as this game does it. So without further ado, here is the new trailer for Stories of Blossom from Softleaf Studios.
Slowly but surely, this camera feed will turn on.
Hi everyone, my name is Connor Bradley, creative director of Softleaf Studios.
I know of this
Today
one.
I am excited to be sharing a quick overview of the accessibility of our game, Stories of Blossom. From the very beginning, accessibility has been our main goal. So we've been working closely with those from the disabled and neurodiverse communities to help us remove barriers from our game. A lot of this work has been baked into the experience itself, such as the readability of each dialogue line, the design of our puzzles, and how we lay out information and our menus. We also have a large array of accessibility options that you can use to tweak the experience to your liking.
Can't stream layout this game.
For a full rundown of those, please visit our updated accessibilities page at softleafstudios.com. And now I am thrilled to announce we have a new trailer.
Huzzah.
I believe I have a story that could help.
Chicky nuggy.
Grandpa.
I wonder what she's getting up to.
It looked like they could use some help, and lots of it.
Let's see what we can do about that.
Yo, salt and pepper?
She came across a planet full of little fungi people.
Hello, little fella. I better get out of here before he realizes.
There once was a pirate that sailed the 7 seas.
And wore a pink tutu.
And
I really like that. He was like subdued, but clearly excited too.
Oh,
He was
look! Hidden treasure.
Here we go. You know, like,
In the backpack it goes.
You see, my dear, you have no need to worry.
I don't know if you remember, I almost was going to
highlight that.
Yeah, highlight that. I think maybe it was
How
one of the
many
Steam
tickles
X-Fests or
will
something
it
had a
take
demo,
to make an
but I didn't get to
octopus
play it in
laugh?
time.
How many?
Tentacles.
Oh, fish. Oh, it's over.
It's over.
Gab smolders.
Love Gab.
Oh boy! Wow. Yeah.
There
No,
it
that was a fantastic. Gab, we'll see you tomorrow. Please get off the screen.
Coming out on Kat's birthday.
That was a incredibly special showcase. Truly, you know, exactly what we thought it would be. You know, as far as like, just genuinely like feeling really good about where the industry is headed in these regards. It's it's definitely one of those. I'm just glad we got to like share it, right? Because it was very much one where we're all like listening. We're all trying to like take in what they're saying and like understand like what they're doing for the games. So we weren't like chatty necessarily, but that was a really good time. It really was exciting. That one conversation towards the middle, from that the journalist and accessibility consultant, like there were so many points in that really like hit hard about just like the need, why there's the need, and you know what people can do, and yeah, that was just a
little mid-show thesis statement.
Yeah, it was great. That was fantastic. I really liked that. I think their name was Vivek. Yeah, that was
Vivek.
That was fantastic. Yeah, that was just a good time. And again, you know, I kept saying like not like we're gonna see like major reveals of things, but like never seen Himig and never seen
a lot of those I've never seen.
Yeah, and so like again, on like I said, it's not even necessarily the content that they showed, but it's the dedication to accessibility that makes you feel even more willing to and excited to support them when they come out, you know, to see more of that happen. Oh, I remember one thing. There was one part where that one game that was talking about how they built in an accessibility onboarding thing. That's such a cool thing that really, again, the one of the things that Laura was saying in the beginning, watching a game or seeing a game and knowing immediately that it's going to be something that will be helpful and playful for you, playable for you, like Ubisoft games. Every one of those in the last few years starts out and immediately you're in the accessibility settings before anything, including like the voice narration is just turned on by default so that if you need it, you don't have to go find it, right? Like it's just on.
That's
cool. You know, yeah, like it's more, let's just keep on going, you know, like you're seeing it more and more. And that's why it's exciting to see, you know, companies like Rebellion in that showcase, right? Where that's like a you know, like a AA, AAA, you know, it's in that space where, you know, it's easy to see indies doing it, you know, because it's not easy either. It's hard to do.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Like, for me, it was surprising to see how many indies are doing it. Like, that was the majority.
I didn't mean like easy necessarily, but I mean like, you know, it's the kind of thing that's, I don't know how to say it quite, but like, you know, it's like, it's something that's easily understandable as important to an indie developer versus some of these other studios that, you know, just
might be more of a priority for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, just like knowing that probably a lot of indie developers, you know, are really thinking about like players, thinking about the community. Yamatsu! What the hell?
Hey, yo.
Yamatsu, what are you doing here?
Celebrity?
You give up on the shower? You're watching from there?
Anyways.
No, but yeah, like you always hear about what the AAAs are doing, you know, but they have like the most resources to be able to make that happen pretty extensively. And so when you see just how many indies are prioritizing it and, you know, have folks working with them, people, especially like that community feedback aspect, like they're really just working directly.
That's what I mean,
with
right?
People to make it happen.
It's a lot easier. That's what I meant by the easiness, right?
Yeah.
Like to have that direct connection to a developer and say, "Hey, actually, this is not it." You know, like you're kind of not hitting the mark in this way. Here's things that I've had done in other games that could really help for me here. You know what I mean? So it's it's really cool to see. That's why it's cool to see something like Rebellion, and especially in this showcase that's brand new, right? It's totally I can't think of the other word, but like, you know, that's what I meant by the easy too, of like, it's easy to see a bunch of indies come into a debut showcase like this, you know, and support something that's, you know, that grassroots kind of experience. But to see a Rebellion show up for something like this, it shows that it's so important to them that they want to be here for this. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a great show. kudos to Laura and the team.
Really great show.
Everybody that was presenting there, either from their games or telling stories. That was the other thing I loved, seeing, you know, the actual lived experience of disabled gamers telling stories about, you know, why it's so important to them, why, you know, why it matters to them for this to happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was great. That was a good time. Hemig, right? Hemig. Yeah. Let's go. Anytime an E3 showcase gives me a Filipino game, I'm in. Yeah, I have to P3, but we are gonna do Tribeca next. And yes, Yama, hello. I was, you know, we were trying to do our recap, so I didn't want to cut it off. But Yama's home, just in time for the weekend of E3 we got on deck. So exciting. Shout out to Yama. Yeah, Yama hopefully will be back on the streams soon. Yama's the best. Yama's fantastic. And Fish, thank you.
Look at
Perfect.
Fish being a freaking
perfect
brand advocate.
I was literally about to go into that. Yama, if you need recaps, there you fucking go, my guy. It's free? It just said free.
Let me see.
Maybe they just don't have the price set on it.
Yeah,
he means price said free on Steam. Sorry.
Free 99.
But yeah, and then the YouTube videos. If you don't necessarily want to watch the whole VOD, you don't have to. You can. We appreciate it. It's fun. You get to experience like you're watching the conferences with us. And there's some really good stuff. But if you want to see our big highlights from each day, we have recaps of each day that you can get and check out as well. Let's go. So yeah, we are gonna hop into Tribeca here next, and then there's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We still got a lot to go, Yama. So you have
we'll
be
hours.
here.
We will be here, and you will be here.
Peep the first thing I sent. That'll give you the schedule to know when to be here. Times are what, PST?
Yeah, we'll go. PST? Yeah, and we'll go over the weekend. I think today at the end we'll go over the whole weekend because we're
some big stuff.
Big stuff going on.
Big things are happening.
But yes,
Fern put events in the Discord. So if you don't think you're gonna remember, you can just click "I'm interested," and that little.
It gives you a nice notification. I always love those little notifications, even though I know because I'm sitting at the computer about to go live.
You're here, but
you go, oh wow, event starting, cool.
I'm in that event.
Here, let me.
There.
Again, 1,000,000% love for accessibility. Yeah. Anyone else? Last things they want to say before we transition into the Tribeca game spotlight, which has been sitting on screen for a little bit here.
Nay.
No, I think we talked about most of it sort of in the moment. But
Hell yeah.
Just excited because
more
accessibility options is good for literally everyone.
Yeah. Love seeing just the commitment on all fronts, you know?